everyone, Michael here. I was diagnosed back in August of 2017. Naturally, I was stressed and depressed about this. My sex drive had plummeted, and it really hasn't been the same since. I kind of asked myself, is it partly to do with my mental state, or part or all to do with the ARVs, which are antiretroviral drugs I've been taking since I've been diagnosed? Time will tell, I guess. This is a difficult topic for me to discuss, but first I want to state a couple of facts. Everyone knows and should know that condoms are a method of prevention of STIs, but not all STIs. They don't protect you from herpes, genital warts, or syphilis, which can be spread from skin-to-skin contact. Now on to some of my history. My first boyfriend and sexual experience was with a guy who was much more experienced than me and a little bit older. We did practice safe sex throughout our short relationship. I was fearful of getting HIV at the time, being in 1995. There was no life-saving drugs for this deadly disease. I remember being in a crowded gay bar, looking around the room at guys and thinking, did this guy have it? Does that guy have it maybe? That was paranoia at the time, and rightfully so. In my mind, it could have meant the death of me if I slipped up. 1996 rolls in, and I remember seeing a news report about life-saving drugs, and I was so relieved at the time. I thought, oh wow, great. Now if I do get it, I don't really have to worry about it so much. I can just take drugs and medicine and I'll be fine. But I didn't think at the time about the major side effects and long-term damage it does to your body, especially back in those days. I would like to cover this in a future video. I began to sexually explore using condoms and not using condoms. I discovered that using condoms created an emotional and physical barrier between my partner, and it was much more pleasurable without. Created a lot of discomfort to the point where sometimes we would just stop. That's just how I felt and feel at the time. I had some scares in the past. I remember one in particular. The health department called me telling me that somebody was recently diagnosed with HIV, and they gave my name and number. Naturally, they couldn't give out his name. So yeah, that was a long wait, stressful time, and it felt like eternity before I got the results, and thankfully it was negative once again. What a relief. During long-term relationships I've had, felt freeing sexually, and I felt a bond between each other. Trust in a way we could only enjoy not using condoms without feeling the risk. Being single for a good amount of time, I ventured onto these dating apps called Grindr and Scruff, which is a gay version of Tinder. All I really found was men out there who just wanted to hook up and easily without condoms. I met a guy in particular. I remember he explaining to me he just recently found out some of his friends were HIV positive, and some STIs, some of them. And he admitted that he was promiscuous on these apps, and that was a major turnoff for me. He tried to get intimate with me, and I had to push him away and say, sorry, but you gotta go. I had to cut him free. I decided not to venture off into those apps anymore and focus on work. I worked a lot of overtime, 6 days a week. I'm hoping that I would meet the right guy and have a healthy and strong relationship with. A year went by, I had no sex, and it was a record for me. I finally had some time off, and I decided to have a few drinks and visit Grindr once more, and I ended up meeting a guy who wanted me to come over and have a one-on-one party with him. He was charming and good-looking, and I went over there, and I trusted him. And why, you might ask? He told me he was negative, and he's just been recently tested, and I told him that I have not been promiscuous, and I know that I'm negative. He had no condoms, and neither did I, and we just decided not to use any. We had a great night of sex. I was hoping that we would create a bond, and maybe after this night we could continue and have a relationship. I was hoping this would be more than just one night. This guy ended up being, turned out to be my donor of the disease. Does that sound messed up to anybody? Needless to say, our relationship never went any further than that one night. Call me crazy, call me human, or call me both, but this is my truth. I hope this helps somebody out there. I might do a video just before the end of the year, which is now mid-December. I'm hoping to have a special guest with me, and it'll be exciting to ring in the new year or at the end of the year with this video. Michael K. signing off here. Take care, everyone.